What it do? Tell a friend to tell a friend it's him again. It's your mans and them. Foul shot and reporting on the Bamboozled Again News Network. And on these videos, I try to come across, like, I don't want to be super professional, super polished. I want to be more just relatable. Like, you know what I mean? The guy you kind of meet randomly, and then y'all end up, like, chopping it up in front of the grocery store. And it gives you valid information, kind of humorous at the same time. And it just ends up being a good exchange. You know what I'm saying? Just a little bright spot in your day, whatever you're going through, right? And I'm going to just touch on, as I'm driving, I'm going to just touch on a wide array of topics as they just come to my mind cells, right? I've been, combing the YouTubial streets and getting different coverage on from everyday brothers or, whoever. Granted, it's YouTube, so people do live, but I like to believe there's some validity to what I'm about to say, because I'm seeing in the small town where I live at in Maryland, not to this degree, because it's more rural, agricultural. The logistics are different. But I'm seeing how, like, if you don't know by now that, you've been bamboozled by the whole governmental system, and that you should probably, at least mentally, if nothing more, start moving to just the ideas of how, in small ways, to become as self-sufficient as possible. Because at this point, we can't even argue effectively for either party. Two wings of the same bird, you understand me? I just seen reports of, the Venezuelans essentially taking over and posting up in the south side of Chicago. I subscribe to, finance-related channels on here, and come to information that, like, they're giving them loans, like they're getting cars. The dude I was listening to earlier, he said he was in an accident and got his car totaled by a Lyft driver who wasn't even an American citizen. You know what I'm saying? But here's what's happening though, right? And this is how they're slowly, incrementally setting the environment for the pressure cooker. For the average American, right, who's struggling, regardless of education, finance, you know what I mean, inflation, the societal ills, you know what I mean, all that there. And now you have an influx of immigrants, right, who are basically getting your tax dollars handed to them, stipends, credit loan, like you can get a credit card with no social security number if you're not supposed to be here. And I know that personally. You know what I'm saying? I got verified that. It'll start creating this environment of disdain for the people who have it easy. While you who have been here and are a citizen, it continues to get incrementally harder and harder and harder until the proverbial straw breaks the camel's back. But typically, unlike, let's say, what was that, 1776, we're not going to en masse rise up as a populace and, stop participating in the system or band together or anything along those lines. What'll typically happen, especially with the psychological wars that are waged against us, we'll then turn our disdain to the people who are benefiting, not the people who set up the benefit. You know what I mean? We're getting mad at the benefit, those who benefit from the system, but we don't turn our disdain towards the benefactors or those who are setting the stage, because we're separated along political, religious ideology, so on and so forth. Divide and conquer, hell of a drug. You know what I mean? But in relation to that, I was thinking last night, and I didn't hop on here. Again, I just wanted to marinate on it for a second, you know what I mean? And in light of I keep covering this P. Diddy stuff because to me, there's so many different nuances you can take from this. You know what I mean? We're moving, like, I was thinking last night about the difference of evil versus wickedness. Now, I'm pretty sure maybe Webster's dictionary, they're pretty much synonymous or the same, just different wording, right? But I would beg to differ, in my humble opinion, because I like to come up with my own theories and analogies, right? Evil would be, I don't know, let's say your woman cheats on you. That's evil, that's bad, that's wrong, right? Wickedness would be your woman cheating on you in your home and doing it in your bed. Like the overkill of it. You know what I'm saying? Like murder is evil. Unless it's self-defense, like murder is evil. But Jeffrey Dahmer is wicked. You understand me? And I feel like we're moving into this space spiritually, and again with various, current events, where we're moving from just knowing about evil into having wickedness pushed upon us and set before our eyeballs. P. Diddy come out, maybe he's no longer useful, maybe he bucked up against the wrong people. Yeah, that's cool, fine, and dandy. Even in light of the Sandra Massey situation, where they aired that publicly. Basically, that was a public snuff film, the equivalent of a public execution. You just weren't physically there, but you were able to be a voyeur through social media or the media platform that you might have seen it on. Opening us up to wickedness. You see what I'm saying? They didn't just kill the woman, or she wasn't just shot. She was murdered in a wicked fashion. You know what I mean? Like everyone, like to me, and then, whole spheres or niches of YouTube have been dedicated in response to men, discussing their plight, opinions on modern dating. Dating has now gone from evil, back in it, man, she might work you out some money, or main man might use you for a place to stay and go on by the business. That's bad, that's wrong. That was evil. But now dating and engaging with the opposite sex, and they have a modern mindset, or they have been drunken from the wine of the fornication of Babylon, dating now has become wicked. You understand me? That's why I'm so turned off, or just super duper leery about dealing with. They might look good, but if you peer into these people's backgrounds or their recent dating history, man, you'll be blown away. And this goes for men and women. You understand me? Is there any more, I don't know it's out there, but I'm talking about in mass. Is there any more just genuine decency? Yeah, I can do this, but if I do this, it's going to negatively affect you. And let's say I don't even like you like that. I ain't gonna hurt you up like that, though. You just told me 1,000 stories about how about that. You know what I mean? I ain't even gonna do. I'm gonna just gracefully bow out. Or it's like everyone is preying on each other, even in the sense of how toxic. I keep seeing videos about how toxic people saying the workplace has become. Not you got the work snitch. You know what I mean? That's kind of, you see the same people or the same personality archetypes in any social circle you'll find yourself in. They just got a different face. You know what I mean? Okay, that was evil, but that's just who he is. Whatever, let me get my work done. Now the workplace is becoming wicked. You know what I'm saying? Where, like I seen the guy, I think it's named the Red Leg Piper. He makes pretty good content. Yeah, it's me just from an average white guy. You know what I mean? Just, giving his take on certain stuff. He talked about he quit his job, and I think that's the one that made him go viral. He had quit his job of 13 years at a warehouse because he just couldn't take it no more. But he did move the puzzle piece around so they could continue to function when he did depart. But he was saying how it started out as a great company, and just how the politics and how wicked it became. Hiring other people who can't do the job and paying them all this money. But if they can't do it, they put more work on the workers. You know what I mean? The supervisors sleeping with the people in their department underneath of them and getting promotions, and just the wicked nature of, putting all the work on the real workers and they get burnt out. But the people who don't do no work, don't nobody say nothing to them. Again, I keep going back to the Thinking Man's Templar when I heard him say the sophistication of evil, right? But it seems it's just not evil at this point. Evil has always existed. Wickedness has always existed. But now I think we're in this space where they went up a notch, and we've moved from the ground floor of wickedness to the second floor, or the ground floor of evil to the second floor of wickedness. It's wicked everywhere. You know what I mean? It's not just, you go to your regular local mainstream church. It might be some evil, bad stuff going on. Maybe the pastor ain't this, or the deacon got this particular personality. But now that ain't the case. If you go on any of these clips of mainstream mega churches and all that, man, they slapping folk in there, making in a demonstration of the Holy Spirit. And I seen one joint, the dude spitting the dude's mouth, and people getting clapped up in the church because they owed the man money, and the pastor man got one foot in the church, one foot in the streets, and another foot in the pimp game. Just wickedness. And here's the wicked part about the wickedness, right? For a season, and I know the Bible talks about, having a season of that. The wickedness is excused. And I talk about the old job because that was really my only insight into society to some degree, because I kind of flojo, like I was just more so roll dolo from state to state. Word up, B. But the level of wickedness that was going on in a place of so-say healing was mind-boggling to me. Not just that, but how many justifications were made and excuses for the wicked doers. So much so, I had to get out of the den of wickedness. I can't be part of no shit like this, man. Y'all making my skin crawl. You know what I mean? And it's putting my personal morals and principles on the line. And that been, to me, a version of selling out. I see this wickedness. No, they basically say in no uncertain terms that this is what it is. You just got to deal with it. And so logically, I can turn a blind eye and do that to continue to get a paycheck to do whatever? I couldn't do it. Because it would have chipped away at what makes me me, my soul. Silence is complicity. Now we're in a space where if you call out wicked doers and give evidence, they'll say you're hating. It makes me think that people, I know in the word it says we're envy not the wicked or the evil, but I think in the heart of hearts of the average person, especially now what we're seeing in the rap game, they admire wicked doers. They're essentially admiring sodomites because they put themselves in a position to give up some cheeks, and now they got a whole bunch of money when they're phasing paper money out. And if you don't do their bidding or your time is up, they put some scandal on you, rape you through the court system, and then you wind up with nothing other than a depleted soul. Woo! Watch out there now. Yo, I use this analogy of like a goose or whatever. Where I'm at, typically you see it about this time of year where they fly south for the winter. But if a goose or a duck or whatever bird that is, could talk English, right? They probably couldn't quantify or explain to you why they feel the need to do that. It's just the instinct. Something in my DNA is telling me it's time to go this way. And that's how I'm feeling about how I move. Because I'm constantly checking myself, you understand? And I'm like, a lot of times it don't make logical sense. But then my spidey senses, I like to call it, will be in disagreement. Like, okay, Cal, we got these bills. Like, okay, man, come on, just hang in there. Just do woo-woo. Just keep pressing. Maybe they'll change, even though I ain't seen none of that. Yo, I literally went to the job. If I could have got through that 8-hour shift, I've been off for 2 days, reset myself. And this reminds me of that story where I think Paul had the dream about going someplace, and then he went there, and then when he got there, he said the Holy Spirit restricted him from speaking. Like, in my mind, I'm like, Kyle, just go in here. It's only one day. You can handle it. Woo, woo, woo. I really believe my spirit would not let my legs work, until I called my supervisor to come pick the keys up and I hand them to her. Then my legs worked. I just could not step foot in the building and was trying to do it, trying my best in my mind, but my body would not respond. It was like I was paraplegic. You understand? Because of how wicked. And then in the aftermath of leaving, the level, co-workers got sex tapes, OnlyFans. They're bringing drugs for the clients. You know what I'm saying? There's no more compassion, even in fields of compassion like treatment in hospitals. When I was in Baltimore, it went viral. They had put a elderly lady out. It was wintertime. It was like 20-some degrees outside. And because her insurance ran out or whatever the case may be, they wheeled her outside in her, hospital gown in a wheelchair. Right out front. And somebody rode by and just started filming it at I guess they got reprimanded because bad light, bad publicity. Like, even if I was in that situation, the rule, but come on, man. Ethics say we can't do this, yo. Our hearts say we shouldn't do this. But now I understand, and it becomes more evident to me of how the word talk about people having their conscience seared, you know what I mean? Or their hearts becoming cold, or the love of many waxing cold. You understand? Like seeing it, it's like, wow. One, I know the word is true. It's just more evident to me now. But just seeing it is like, yo, again, it makes me feel like I'm kind of operating in a parallel dimension. Like I went through some type of invisible vortex, unbeknownst to myself, and wound up in an alternate universe where left is right, right is left, where I feel like a total alien. You know what I'm saying? I don't, for an individual who, desires deeper level connections, right? I'm not connecting with whatever entity is out here now in general, in mass. Now, of course, I'm talking about like, those, the time spent, the conversations had, the exchange of energy. I'm one of them type brother. If I ain't feeling it, I can't do it. As much like I can't even fake the funk no more. I used to be able to do that. Just fake the funk for whatever purpose or opportunity. I can't even do it no more. I ain't even good at it. I ain't even good at lying. I don't want to lie. You see what I'm saying? I don't feel like remembering all that stuff. I just keep it real with you. I don't care. You're like, man, bump all that, man. You know what I'm saying? And I think, when we talk about these chosen ones talking points of isolation, I think it's twofold. It's not just because of that. It's also to keep you safe. Now I understand why, there are these various verses of, we're being referring to us as sheep being led to slaughter. Wise as a serpent, harmless as a dove. That's why, like the SRBG man say on here, like I try to be a well-rounded brother. You know what I'm saying? So I'll read the word, and I've done that more so. But I've read books about the occult, or like the Art of War, or just Behold a Pale Horse. Not because I'm about to subscribe to any of this, but I want to understand what these people believe. So I know who I'm dealing with. So I know the tactics. Not that I'm going to use any of the tactics. Again, recognize, identify, navigate. You know what I'm saying? Like football, read and react. You know what I'm saying? But if we're just like, you have to be practical. I don't know how true it is, but it makes sense to me that I think like Daniel and them, like they were well, like in the scriptures in the Torah, but they were also well versed in the culture that they were in. So they knew their ways, they knew their customs. They didn't implement or adopt any of it. They just did it to know who they dealing with and how to reach them, talk to them, deal with them, so on and so forth. That's one of the things I didn't realize a skill the ability to identify people, because I was in so many wild situations in these so-say places of healing. It became a survival tactic, a necessity. My inability to identify who you are, what your desires are, and what your intention motives is paramount to me navigating this situation. So I started getting skills that I wasn't consciously aware that I was gaining. It was like I was just getting, as they say on here, various downloads. Like that scene on The Matrix, where out of necessity, they got to get off this building, but it's a helicopter. And Neo ain't never flew no helicopter. But he radios back to the real world, even though he's in the simulation, gets a download, and now he can do something he's never done, fly a helicopter, because he got an instant download. I think there's a lot of, what's the word I'm looking for? There's a lot of, not duality, but there's a lot of truth to that. I know, like I used to like sci-fi and things of that nature. Like, werewolves and these various other type of creatures. Shit, with the level of wickedness that's going, I was ready to go somewhere else. I done took a detour. With the level of wickedness that's in the wicked environment, with them opening portals and so on and so forth. Shit, I make the argument, with the level of wickedness and what that's conjuring, shit, you might start seeing werewolves out this mother, you know what I'm saying? And these other kind of hybrid creatures, you know what I'm saying? Giants, and it's ready, like in the days of Noah, so it shall be in the last days, where giants were walking around, where people were practicing, not just, Now, now witchcraft has become mainstream. You see what I'm saying? But so now that's become mainstream. Now let's turn it up a level. You know what I'm saying? Now we're, because of this P. Diddy stuff and, ritualistic sex abuse and, the conjuring or sex rituals for the purposes of harvesting demonic power. If you look at them people eyeball black as I don't know what, bro. Because now they're being possessed or taken over. Like, here's another one they put on, kind of like superhero movie. Here's another one they do that probably got a whole lot of truth to it. What's that? What's that superhero? Not Spawn. The other jump. Whereas though the alien inhabits the dude. Shucks, I just had on tip of my tongue. They got a couple movies out of it, but it was symbolic of that black stuff that got on Spider-Man. But the joint ends up actually, it's a symbiote or something, and it actually ends up getting inside of him. So he still can have his physical form, but when necessary, that thing that's inside of him can make him look different and operate in him, and it talks to him and all that. This is what's going on now with folk. Sometimes I hear these various stories from my former co-workers, right? And the first thing my brain tells my mind is, what made them do that? You know what I'm saying? Like, what benefit did... People are becoming carnal, almost beast-like, primitive at this point. Imagine what happened when society fall apart, and it's cracking now. Man, them folk going to start turning into literal and social cannibal. We're in this space, we're dealing with social cannibalism, politically. Like I say, on your job and these relationships. People aren't getting together out of necessity, or it might be necessity, or because of genuine connection. Their underlying motive is to cannibalize the other person. That's why I tell brothers, you need to be real leery. If you is, I wouldn't subscribe to do it, but if you is, I get it as a man, you might, at best, if we're in the land of whoredom, you might as well treat them as such. Because all that trying to, be overly sympathetic to the stuff they've been doing, she's going to cannibalize you. She's going to harvest your soul. Or like one of them movies where the dude, for every kill he got, or unaliving he got, he put a mark on his back. This is how the modern demonic witchcraft practicing and private woman looks at it. That's why the proverbial good man, that's why spaces like the manosphere was created. For decent brothers, ain't nobody super spectacular, but just decent, trying to handle the business brother, or comparing notes of their situations with the modern woman, late to the party, and discovering how wicked she is. But typically, the good man, quote unquote, however you categorize that, get his hind parts handed to him. Sam Sausage Head can run through the set and they give him a pass. It's like the modern woman incentivizes you to be wicked. The modern woman will cheat on you for working too much, right? But Sam Sausage Head can smash her homegirl and continue to smash both of them. He'll go through a little emotional, whatever. You see what I'm saying? Sam Sausage Head can get locked up, and she'll still go see that man. You see what I'm saying? Your shorty won't even bring you a ham sandwich on lunch and say that's slavery. Wickedness. It's so wicked, they're putting a flip game on it and try to make it seem like good is wickedness. You having your own opinion is wicked. You not allowing yourself to be led by a bamboozler is wicked. You're a hater. How I'm a hater and I don't want to do nothing I seen them people doing? How I'm hating on that? Boy, I'm trying to told you. Watch out there now. To the nana say. Like them all for war, that boy. I say war, nah, boy. Woo-wee. Boy, like my man, I think I got it from, I give a shout out here, Terry Joel Jr. You got to dip and dodge out here. Handle your business. Keep your spirit, keep your mind. And I'm famous for this, because I'm kind of extreme brother. So in the whole sobriety thing, it was kind of hard for me to find balance. I've been a whole lot better with it. But normally I'm either hot or cold, I'm on or I'm off. It's either feast or famine with me. Now, and I'll give you a chance. But once I see, okay, I tell you, like, oh, don't do that, or, woo woo, and you do it again, you trying me. So I'm explaining to you. But if you seem like you're not trying to understand, or you say you understand, but the behavior persists, gone, block, no explanation. You playing. I don't tolerate no play about you. It ain't no time for no play. It ain't because I'm such a douchebag or, you know what I mean? Something like that, or however they want to demonize you. Here's another thing. They'll call you toxic for not dealing with toxic behavior. But it's the toxic behavior is the same thing that got y'all playing victimhood and the thing you willingly got in. Once I stopped playing victim, all that stuff stopped happening. Then I became the victor. I started getting small victor. I don't drink no more. I can stay by myself now. You know what I'm saying? Yeah, I want to do something. Like my old counselor used to say, shout out to my man Mike Gray, smooth type cat daddy. If you don't know what to do, don't do nothing. Find your lane, get in your lane, and stay there. Message, you know what I'm talking about? It's real in the battlefield, baby. But let's be just on the lookout for just... And here's what's wicked about it. The fact that it don't look wicked for the most part. Like, again, the verse of, the adversary presenting himself as an angel of light. If somebody just walked up to you with devil horn, like, oh, man, what is that? You know what I mean? Get on away from me, cuz. That's not how they coming. The wickedness is on the inside of them. They're just cloaked in whatever physical vehicle that you can see and perceive with your five senses. But if you was able to turn people inside out, man, you mess around and throw up on the sidewalk. Oh, God. So, wickedness is not... Wickedness stink, yo. Like people say your attitude stink. It's because your spirit, your soul stink. You know what I'm saying? Like, I could go be frustrated, go through whatever, da-da-da. But unless you my mans in them, and I told you, you wouldn't be able to tell I'm going through all that. One, I ain't putting it on you. And if depending on what it is, I'm going to go work this off by myself. You know what I'm saying? So that I don't put it on nobody who ain't got nothing to do with it. That's like the move, this is where healing come into play. That's like that move where, let's say, I've been cheated on. So instead of just healing from it, seeing what red flags I missed, guard myself so it don't happen again, or putting that on the next woman I deal with. Because I got hurt, now I just hurt every woman I come in contact with. This is what P. Diddy did. They said Clive Davis busted him up, you know what I'm saying? So then the victor become the victimizer, and then he just went super exponential with it, and he just busted up everybody he could. That was the same analogy I was giving about what I perceived of the healthcare professional I was working with. We're addicts at some point. We get it clean, get it together, we get some education to then turn around and help the very same group or demographic of people that we once were, but then we victimize them because we have a position to do so. Where they do, that's actually a sign of being unhealed. Now, here's what's wicked. People are getting education and certificates in fields of expertise or fields of, just society, especially in the helping fields, and don't care nothing about helping nobody. I'm using this to help myself to vulnerable people. Not like I was once vulnerable. I know what it's like. So then I in turn attempt to empower those so that you can't be taken advantage of like I was all them years I was trying to get it together in Baltimore with them treatment folk. You know what I'm saying? Like Spartacus. He went through whatever as a gladiator, as a Roman slave. Then he attempted to empower everyone. You see what I'm saying? They say he was a great leader because he led by example. He operated in what he said. You see what I'm saying? He showed that he actually gave a damn. Yo, it's mad whack out here, B. It's mad trife, cat. Even in the chosen one space, it's becoming wicked with the influx of monetization. Now, if you're a newbie to this, you might be privy to getting bamboozled under the guise of these people who, preach scripts or say you're chosen, those talking points. But they're just, YouTube preachers for monetization. They don't care nothing about you. You know what I'm saying? They just want you to check them out. That's why I think, yo, I'm ready to hop up off here. That's why I think, yo, my mom actually just told me a story of how, man, my birthday is coming up on the 28th, right? But I was actually supposed to be born on the 27th, which is tomorrow. But she said her water broke, and I just laid in there. I didn't want to come out. So they waited a whole another day. I was just in that joint chilling, according to her and the doctor. They said they had to go in there and get me. Now, you know, there's a verse of talking about us being here and then seated in heavenly place at the same time. I don't profess to have in-depth knowledge or understanding of that. But I think, yo, and I went through hell on earth, bro. You know what I'm saying? But I signed up for it. I made a contract. Yeah, I'm going to go down here and handle that for you. You know what I'm saying? But I get my mind wiped clean. But I think before I came into the earth and the light of the doctor office hit me or whatever. Because I actually used to tell people I was born in the house, like real old-fashioned style. I think I stayed in there because I knew once I hit this realm, it's on like crack corn. You know what I'm saying? They had come get me. You know, like that one little bear cub or horse or whatever. They out in the pasture grazing. I'm still in the manger chewing cud. You know what I mean? Because I know what it is. But a lot of times the black sheep or the runt of the family ends up becoming the strongest one because they face so many adversities. I'm going to leave y'all on this note, right? We go through whatever we go through, especially if you're quote unquote chosen. Your path seems to be harder, longer. I'll give you this one, right? Even in reference to what we see in the industry, right? Satan gives the instant gratification, right? But you don't see the long-term pain and suffering. See, and I know this personally, even before, you know, I started getting, you know, sober and all that. I'm like, why God always make me wait, yo? Why I gotta wait? You know what I'm saying? Like super long for stuff that's regular. One, that's a part of it. Patience, endurance, long suffering. But the waiting is actually to prepare you so that when I give you whatever it is that you're destined to have, you can handle it. There's preparation in the waiting. You can actually wait wrong. Wait complaining, waiting, you know, when it's gonna happen. Rah, 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 rah. I done settled in now because he's been dealing with me as far as that. You know how it want to happen. But in the way I know it's gonna happen, I just don't know when. So let me have a good attitude about it. Let me do what I can do and what's in my power to do. You know what I'm saying? Our time coming, baby. Just like I'll give you another now, like I never wanted to work in the treatment field because of my experience as a client. But based on the long, extenuated duration of my suffering in treatment, it gave me a skill set to do something I didn't want to do in a place I didn't want to do it at. And was actually able to help and empower people. You see what I'm saying? And because of, you know, my waiting season, the various minefields and pitfalls that were set up, I just gracefully moved around because I had been in the environment so long with these wild dudes. You know what I'm saying? Doing it working where I was working at was child's play. So much so, I look like Master Sensei, who ain't been to school for nothing. But I graduated from the Holy Spirit School of Hard Knocks. I ain't doing this to you out of punishment necessarily. I will chastise you. But it's just like working out or going through rigorous training for a prize fight. If you don't go through that hard training and fight, you're going to get your hind parts handed to you in the ring. You see what I'm saying? So then when you pull up on the set, you actually look like you know what you're doing because it's been ingrained and forged in you. There's actually a purpose to your suffering. You just ain't suffering just to be suffering. Now you'll suffer, you make bad decisions, so on and so forth. But for those, you know, like envying not the wicked, you know, because they might get what we desire, but we can't get there, whatever the case may be. You understand me? There's a purpose in it. There's a training in it. You see what I'm saying? Like the years I was homeless, actually, because I was never a good steward of nothing. I'm actually an excellent steward of what I got because I had to work to get it back. So now that I had to work to get it back, I'm a better steward of it. And I know how to survive without the luxuries of life. As long as I got what I need, I'm straight. You know what I'm saying? Of course, I continue to strive and do all those type of things. And it'll come when he's ready for it to come. I'm not comparing myself to the next man's journey or whatever phase he's on, especially superficially or financially. Because what I got Most people don't have. And what I got, the world ain't give it to me, and the world can't take it away. Now I'm ready to get in here and get up on this Mickey flick, you know what I'm saying? See if I can work on the bot a little bit. Man, I'ma holler at y'all. Cover your six. It's your mans and them signing out. Ooh, ah.